good morning and welcome back to Assen. It's round 4 of the 2026 Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup. Yesterday on Saturday, we had race 1 of the weekend already, and let me tell you, the Cathedral of Speed delivered once again. Before we go any further in the lead up to race 2, roll the highlights. These are the highlights from the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup Race 1 at the Cathedral of Speed in Assen. The Dutch GP, and it was Sullivan Mounty starting from pole position, but two-time race winner from Mugello, Ryota Ogiwara, taking the whole shot and leading the first part of the race. David Gonzalez, who also started on the front row, made big waves throughout, but it was our eventual winner, Carlos Cano, who really stole the show, taking charge of the race. There was plenty of argy-bargy throughout and lots of chaos as we're becoming accustomed to seeing in the 2026 Rookies Cup season. Christian Daniel, the American, joined the fray, the number 70, leading the way for a bit of time towards the end of the race. This was the run to the line, onto the final lap. Nobody could show a hand to Carlos Cano, and it was Cano taking the victory. Daniel second, and Beñat Fernandez in third.
I'm happy to be on the podium because I think this was the hardest race of this weekend, no? Because if it's at the afternoon during the race, I was a bit standing up and trying to breathe, trying to keep calm, and trying to reserve some energy for the last laps and last corners.
The race honestly was super tough. I mean, I started mid-pack. I didn't get the best of starts. And I was just battling with some guys that were super aggressive, really desperate to get to the front. So this is the first good start of, like, let's say the second half of the season. We're almost into the summer break, so we're going into the summer break quite happy.
I am so happy. I'm so tired because the race was super hot here in Assen. We start like this the weekend with one victory. I'm feeling amazing.
Well, there we have it. Incredible action as always. Sizzling racing coming up very shortly as well. But before we get going, we all know how important the Rookies Cup has been on the road to MotoGP over the last 2 decades, setting riders on the path to become world champions. Now we're going to hand over to Red Bull KTM IO team manager Nicholas Io and last year's Cup winner Brian Uriarte to see how it breeds such success in riders so early on in their world championship careers.
I'm Nicholas Io. I'm currently the team manager in Red Bull KTM Io.
My name is Brian Uriarte Diego. I'm now racing in Moto3 World Championship with the Red Bull KTM Io team.
Basically, I have long history already from this sport, and I used to be part of Red Bull Rookies Cup as well in 2008. Very good memories from the year itself, very good experience, but results-wise, not that good experience. 2-3 years later, that I was already in the World Championship. So of course, after Rookies Cup, the uphill was quite high.
In Misano, the 2025, I won the championship with 1 race margin, and it was really emotional for me, and yeah, I will keep it in my mind forever.
I've been working also many years in different jobs in this business, so I have a little bit of experience from all the areas, so that also prepared me for the job as a team manager.
Yeah, I visit the tent, or I see everyone. No, I keep many friends in there. They're still racing, and some others, they are mechanics, helpers. I have a good relationship with many people in there, and yeah, I miss them all.
Everything is prepared, ready for you here. You have very good coaching. You are able to ride races in a World Championship weekend. So I think for a rider, it's really the last step.
One of the things that I dreamt was to arrive to the World Championship. The other thing was to win a race in the World Championship, and both of them they are already achieved, so it's really nice for me. But well, I have many things that I dream for.
This is one of the best chances for a rider to enter to the championship.
From rookies to team managers, just like Nicholas Io, or making the lead to the MotoGP paddock like Brian Uriarte, the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup has always been the place where future stars begin their journey. But enough looking back. It's all about here and now. The grid is ready, and everyone is expecting to see some incredible racing action from the Cathedral of Speed. So let me hand it over to the commentary box.
Thank you, Domi, and it's a beautiful sunny day here, but you can see the track conditions there. Heavy overnight rain has cooled everything off, and that's great, but there are still some damp patches. Now, I saw the bikes going out of the pit lane, or rather sitting in the pit lane with the slick tyres on. So it really is, a difficult decision for the staff to make. But Danny and Gustel had a good look at the track and I talked to the marshals, and it really is drying out very quickly. And the racing line is dry everywhere. And I saw Danny and Gustel just before talking to all the riders in the pit lane and stressing you didn't have to be able to read the lips. You could see the hand gestures, pointing to the head. Use your head. Don't do anything silly, and we'll do a double check when they come to the line that there's not a last-minute change of tyres, but I believe they're going to be going on the slick Pirellis for the race this morning.
Yeah, Peter, last night, absolutely spectacular thunderstorm all around Assen, going basically throughout the whole night from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Some of the best lightning flashes I've ever seen. Did keep me up for most of the night though. The rain was torrential, big puddles all around, but look, as you point out, how quickly it's drying. I was out on circuit just on the service roads just 20 minutes ago, and already in the direct sunlight, it's already pretty warm. So ambient temperatures 22 degrees this morning as opposed to yesterday's near 35, but that will certainly heat up rather quickly here today. Now, we do have a different starting grid than what we had yesterday because of all the penalties from qualifying. So today, Peter, we actually have a Frenchman on pole position in the form of Guillaume Plonk, ahead of Fernando Bajosa, who finished yesterday's race in a very respectable 5th, and Sullivan Mounty, who started on pole yesterday, is 3rd. But let's talk with yesterday's race winner, Carlos Cano.
Carlos, today you took control of the race and it earned you the victory. Shall we expect the same strategy today?
Yes, I try to push, to try to go alone. The track is a little bit with some parts water in the last fast corner. And I try to be the same like yesterday, and we'll see in the last corner.
All the best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, Peter, what a spectacular ride that was from him yesterday, eh?
It was, yeah, and I think, as long as it is pretty dry, it's not the conditions are not strange. I think it's every possibility that he's going to repeat that. He is actually the 5th winner so far this year in 7 races. So,
yeah, really impressive, wasn't it? I mean, his 16th position in the championship yesterday. Before that win, much higher today. But we can head back down on the grid because it's a massive day for another ex-rookie of ours, Colin Vire in Moto2. We'll be doing the business later on in the Moto2 class, but right now he's with Domi.
Colin, you know what it takes to get a podium. Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup rider.
I think it's quite difficult here, especially with the long straights, with small bikes, a lot of slipstream, so it won't be easy. But I think in the last laps, it's very important to not be on the front and try to get the slipstream into the last corner because it's quite difficult to break away here. I tried 2 years ago, but it wasn't that easy, and still I got tipped to the line. But yeah, I think it's very important to be not on the front and try to fight as hard as possible into the last corner.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Colin, and all the best of luck in your race as well.
Thank you.
And as you say, Matt, Colin jumped up to 11th place in the Cup points, and another win today would really propel him into the battle for, going to the second half of the season.
Yeah, exactly that. Already a podium this year. Colin was looking on fine form, a little dip lately, but looking very strong now. And the support that he's got here in Assen is magic. I've been filming on the service roads through the other sessions here this weekend, and as you probably saw there's a whole section just after Steckenval at the second half of the circuit. Massive Colin Vire flags and banners all the way along. He grew up just 40 minutes away from this circuit, so very best of luck to him today.
Right, yes, and there is Sullivan Mounty. He set off from pole yesterday. He's 3rd, still on the front row today, and of course he had a nasty tumble with 2 other guys on the pen just before starting the last lap yesterday, but they're all okay, all riding today.
Yeah, as we sort of pointed out, I mean, looked initially just from the shot like quite nasty, but as you pointed out, all going at the same speeds and things like that. It was Fortunately, all able to get up and okay. Ramadipa, Travis Borg and Mounsey were the riders involved in that one. One other faller yesterday, two other fallers in David da Costa and Tibor Varga, but all okay for those riders as well. The starting grid, though, here this afternoon, though, Travis Borg will be starting once again at the back of the grid, quite far down. But as we saw yesterday, quite a slow race, Peter. A bit frustrating from a point of view of wanting to see that progression from our rookies, but very exciting, and it does mean that riders starting at the back of the grid like Travis Borg can make it towards the front.
Yeah, they can. And I was talking to Benyat Fernandez after the race, and Ogiwara after the race. He actually was a little bit annoyed with himself. He said, I just made a mistake into the chicane on the last lap, and the change of direction, I had to back off. We were all in a bunch. I had to back off, otherwise I was going to clip the guy in front. And he said, of course, that cost me the drive to the line, and certainly cost me 4th place, maybe even a podium. So he was a bit frustrated.
There is Benyat Fernandez then starting from 6th on the grid here today. Didn't manage to actually get away with it like he wanted to then.
No, yeah, that's right. He says, look, I haven't changed the bike since the first race in Jerez. I'm comfortable with it. I know that I can run at the front, and that's what I like to do, stay at the front. I don't feel the need to try and break away. And, he's been thinking the long game, if you like, the whole season, and getting and going for the cup win almost from race 1 when he started heading the championship with the first race win.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, an interesting tactic, certainly an interesting one. Certainly different than that we've seen before. I would love to see Benyat really wring that bike's neck and absolutely take it on home. I have such fond memories of Marco Morelli's victory here a couple of years ago, and that's the kind of racing that I really like to see.
Well, that's right, and I think this is the guy who could do it. He is an aggressive and attacking rider, and I think if the track isn't too wet, he is the one guy with confidence from yesterday who maybe can break it, at least pull a couple of the guys with him.
Yeah, a new man coming into Assen weekend, Carlos Cano, we talked about yesterday, but a new training program, dropped several kilos, up towards 5 kilograms, and looking more chiseled and things like that, and look at the result that it's had, both here and in the Junior World Championship. Good to see Kiandra Ramadipa on the grid here today, again after the crash yesterday, 9th position on the grid. He will be. One victory so far this season for the Indonesian in the 2nd race at Jerez, but a pretty luckless couple of races, the 2nd race in Mugello and yesterday. What can he do later today? He comes here off the back of a victory in the Moto3 Junior GP World Championship, and I'm sure there are plenty of Indonesian fans staying up, well, early evening, mid-evening to watch his race here today.
Yeah, and there is Kerman Tinez, and he's another guy who really should be featuring at the front. He hasn't been as much at the front as we would like to see, but maybe this is his chance. He would love to be there on the podium and even winning a race, his first Rookies Cup race, of course.
Yeah, exactly, and pointed towards the Venezuelan flag on the side of his leathers and to the sky. His thoughts are very much with his countrymen and women over in Venezuela after the earthquakes earlier this week. 1 minute to go then, Peter.
Yeah, and Kerman actually started the season with his best result, 5th it was in race 1 in Jerez, and he's actually struggled to get into the points most of the races since then, but he got an 11th yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. We look forward to seeing the best of him. He sits alongside Singapong, Mike Yu in 11th. 12th spot is Christian Daniel, who got 2nd place yesterday, his best Rookies Cup result to date. And this is the thing, Peter, as we look to the next row as well, with Almeida and Van Krooten, the local rider in the Netherlands. With the pack being all together, racing, etc., the riders in what, 21st yesterday, setting the fastest lap of the race by the end. It really does actually mean I can't actually predict it.
No, you can't. You can't at all. And it was great to see Yurian in front of his home crowd get some points, some good points yesterday, because that means that everybody has already scored points this season. So great to see that. He got picked up a 12th yesterday.
Well then, this is a very important couple of cycling laps. You can see even more so how much the track has dried off already then, but there will be some damp patches which they will not want to catch them out during the race. So any sort of dive bombs and things like that come with that little bit of extra risk this morning.
Yeah, and we were talking quite a bit yesterday about the gearing choices, you know, as a long or a short selection. You would rather think that they've gone for the short gearing here with being damp patches around. You don't want to be caught out, you know, having the engine bog. And this is so crucial, the Struben, the classic Struben here at Assen, getting out of here and then drive down the back straight. It's first gear going into the Struben, and then it's all the way up to 6th gear and 230 kilometres an hour. So crucial. And most of the guys, I think, will probably go with the short gearing to make sure they get the drive.
Well, Christian actually spoke with him after the race, and he said there were so many wild moves into Struben, the tight left-hander, cutting so finely. So many riders sacrificing their run on towards the back straight. He found it very bizarre, and that's sort of how he managed to make up so much time, despite being one of the bigger riders down sort of the straights and into the fast flowy section, turns 6, 7 and 8.
And he did use the shorter gearing, but he said he was chasing Carno, and although Carno had said that he was swapping from long to short, he said, I reckon I could hear his engine here when he went into the over-rev, and he was running the longer gearing. So actually, you know, Christian said, look, you know, I may go for the long gearing tomorrow, but that, as I say, they can swap the gearing very quickly. Of course, it's just the rear sprocket change. So, you know, I would imagine almost everyone has gone for the shorter gearing. But there you go. It's a dry racetrack in almost everywhere, isn't it?
Almost everywhere, but with the chaos that we saw yesterday, if you do go beyond track limits, you are running that extra risk as well. You got a little glimpse of the point standings as well. 17 points now separating Ogiwara and Fernandez at the top. Well, conditions like this can throw up a big surprise and potential point swings in the standings as we now enter the second half of the season.
Come on, Matt, be brave. Who's going to win it?
Absolutely not. Well, I'd like to see Christian Danu go one better than yesterday. That's a nice story. A third-year rider looking to make the step in their career. That's the kind of story I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, that's right. I think Carno is the man. I think he's going to be so confident after yesterday, and I think Carno's going to go for it. Right. 15 laps of Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup action here at the Cathedral of Speed, Assen, the Netherlands, and away we go. Who gets a good run? It's the 24, I think, of Guillaume Planck, the pole man, who has the slightest advantage, but inside is 97. That's Ogiwara.
Ogiwara with another stormer of a start, a massive big push from his right leg, and he takes the whole shot once again from 5th on the grid. The Japanese rider with his newly bleached blonde hair setting the Rookies Cup alight here this morning.
He said it just wasn't possible to go away yesterday. Well, you know, can he do it today?
Into the back straight we come for the first time then. Riders going very, very wide off. There's Mike Huey, did that yesterday, going off onto the grass as Sullivan Mounsey comes together with Benyat Fernandez, gets swamped either side by other riders. Into turn 6 for the first time. We have David Gonzalez and Fernando Bajosa on the chase of Ogiwara in 2nd and 3rd. Your pole position sitter, Guillaume Planck, in 4th.
And Benyat Fernandez is in the hunt as well. So let's see if he said, look, I haven't changed the bike since the first race in Jerez. I'm happy with the way things are, and I'm happy just to race at the front. I don't need to race away with it.
You can see the reflections on the asphalt of those damp patches and actually some puddles when you get off the track. So that really is precarious if you're pushing the limits and going well beyond them. On to the back straight we come then. Ogiwara will be leading them through. Holger Heider, the fastest point on the circuit then. Another rider going very wide. We are 3 abreast behind Ogiwara. That's Bajosa pushing David Gonzalez wide. Into the GT chicane we come for the first time. Cano is there, yesterday's race winner. We come through to the start and finish straight for that first time.
Yeah, absolutely superb stuff. Brilliant.
Second place yesterday, Christian Daniel crosses the line in 7th place, up from 12th on the grid. A cracking start from him. The pace looks to be a bit more spread out than yesterday. Maybe, finally, the message has been clear from the riders' coaches.
Well, they've all got to stick to the racing line, at least at the beginning, until they work out where the damp patches are, aren't they? So, you know, it pays not to be too crazy at this point.
David Gonzalez cutting the inside line there, overtaking Fernando Bajosa, but not for long because he really sacrificed his drive there. Bajosa neck and neck alongside of Banyat Fernandez, just behind them. He's going to go through to the inside along turn 6, overtakes them both. 2-for-1 deal for him there into turn 7.
Right, and Banyat Fernandez on the number 7 there. He knows. Oh, and up the inside, superb stuff.
That was Carlos Cano, yes, it was. Yesterday's winner.
You know, I had my money's on him.
Yeah, this is quite a good bet. Maybe this is all that Cano needed. Shift a couple of kilos, and he's arrived. He got pole position in his first Rookies Cup weekend back in Jerez. He failed to really impress us in the races thereafter, and he's trying to go up the inside of Banyat Fernandez here. Absolutely brilliant from Cano. What an exciting prospect this is for the second half of the season.
Absolutely superb stuff, and Cano does not want to see Ogiwara run away with this, did he? Ogiwara looking super smooth at the moment, but Banyat right on his tail, picked up the slipstream along the back straight, back home here, and is he hard on the brakes? But it still is the Japanese ace, the 17-year-old Japanese who has the advantage.
I want to give a shout out to Christian Borelli in 8th place, the Italian, the number 57. Where did he start on the grid? Way down in 16th place. He is with those chasers of Ramadipa, Mounsey, and Christian Daniel. Very impressive indeed. But the fastest rider on track that time around was Travis Borg with a 1:47 flat. Slower than yesterday, but with those damp patches, that's to be expected.
And back in 19th place. So he could be coming. He should be coming through from there.
A couple of riders pushing each other wide. Cano and Banyat Fernandez there into the Struben.
And confirmation of Borg with the fastest lap. But it is still Ogiwara, but Cano is there, towing along the 69 of Fernando Bajosa.
Mounsey looking for redemption after yesterday's crash in 9th position. A podium finisher so far this year on the front row of the grid. The number 4 into the top 10 at the moment with 11 laps to go.
Up the inside comes Cano to take the lead.
And look at this, live championship. What a point swing it would be with Ogiwara in 2nd place. 7 points the gap would be, but it's a long way to go yet with Bajosa going up the inside now into 2nd place. Cano leads.
And was Cano doing the pointing at my bum distinction there to try and get them to follow him and not overtake?
Yeah. Don't overtake me, I'm in first. I'm in first, please stay back. Especially on the last lap.
Cano is that leads from Fernando Bajosa. The two Spanish, they've raced a lot together through their careers, so they know what his other like to do there. So Banyat Fernandez, the points leader, in 4th place. David Gonzalez has come up into 2nd place through the chicane and out onto the start and finish with 10 laps remaining.
Mounsey and Christian Daniel just neck and neck, side by side there, and it's another fastest lap to Travis Borg at 1:45.6. He's at half a second quicker than everybody else on track. This is very exciting from the Maltese rider. He got a podium in the Junior GP World Championship the other week. Borg now with a best finish of 4th in France in the 2nd race there. He is on the hunt for a podium here today from the very back of the grid, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and it's to say he was unfortunately part of the Mounsey Ramadipa fall at the end of the race yesterday, but he hopefully will not make another mistake again.
And another place he takes up into 14th is Borg then. The leaders come through turn 6 and 7. Fernandez up the inside into 4th position. A big bobble on as he leans as he tries to go. Wow, another one inside and out. Outside and inside is up the inside of Bajosa into 3rd position.
And that's what he said. Bennett said, I haven't changed the bike because I just rather, he says, I know everything that you can see how confident it is. He says, I know what it's going to do. everywhere and in any circumstances. I've got so much confidence in the KTM and the Pirelli tyres, and he loses second place there, that he doesn't want to muck around with it. He said, I'd rather, you know, shift and modify my own riding style as required.
David Gonzalez now, though, taking command of this race in first position. Rammer deeper, just at the inside there. Now finds himself on the outside of Ruskenhoek. Wow, that was very, very tight indeed. And look at them all fan out. Oh, Mounty up the inside of David Gonzalez. That was so close.
Okay, he must have clipped David Gonzalez there, didn't he? Yes.
Surely he did. And Mounty finds himself in second place now, but with 146.4 for Cano at the lead then. Goodness me, it really pays dividends to put a hot lap in, because Mounty was the fastest rider on track that time around.
Brilliant stuff, absolutely superb.
And look at the gap, Peter.
Yes,
already a bit of daylight.
Yeah, but they're going to... Let's see what happens with the slipstream down the back straight there. And it is Cano that leads. It's Mounty in second place on the number 4.
And here's what happened.
Yeah, we'll see as they go. It's in the middle of the corner here. Oh, yes! It's elbow against exhaust pipe there. And David Gonzalez will show us the scars on his leathers at the end of the race, I'm sure.
I mean, he really tried to defend, but there was absolutely no stopping Sully coming through there. No more smooth Sully there. That was well and truly back to Manic Mounty as he waves his hand at somebody there through turn 8. No idea what happened. Beñat Fernandez taking his hand off the left handlebar, but Hoser goes up into third. It's all going off.
Yeah, it is. And Cano it is still that leads. Yesterday's winner it is who has the very slightest advantage, hardly even a bike length, over the points leader Beñat Fernandez.
Look who's come into the fray as well. Yesterday's second place finisher Christian Daniel up into 5th spot now. I saw him get bumped down the order. I think last lap around they go 3, 4, and maybe 5 abreast into the penultimate corners.
Mounty,
goodness me.
He's going to go for the lead, isn't he? He's going to go, no, he thinks better of it.
Wow, yeah, this time around. But look at him. This is like what we saw back in Le Mans. Mounty just absolutely in the zone this morning. Don't know what he's had for breakfast, but very, very impressive.
It's working, isn't it? Number 69, of course, is Fernando Bajosa in 3rd place.
Fastest lap once again to Travis Borg, now up into 9th place from the back of the grid. You can see him in this leading group. Now, we have actually got a big split, Peter, haven't we? This is, well, the top 16 are all in one group, and then you've got Agostinelli and downwards in a second group there in the back of shot.
That's a big enough group for you up front, is it? Someone's not going to get a point out of those guys.
Yeah, just big enough, just big enough. This is a little bit more like it, I think. The pace really being drilled, maybe a couple of riders who are less experienced, a bit more timid of the damp patches. Sullivan Mounty ain't timid though, he ain't shy this morning. No shy Sully, he's through into the lead.
Yeah, great stuff, and he paves the bike. Oh, and loses out to Cano there. Cano just was quicker on the change of direction and got the KTM in front of number 4.
Who actually has a track limits warning now. Mounty, the first of the riders to get a warning about going over track limits. See how that transpires with the 8 laps left.
And Borg, of course, is easy to spot with that Maltese cross on the helmet, the number 23. Let's see how he continues to go forward. He's up to 8th place.
Gonzalez just ahead of him in 7th. We're looking back from Beñat Fernandez at Fernando Bajosa, the Mallorcan. Then it's Christian Daniel for company. The 70, they go side by side alongside Beñat Fernandez in towards the penultimate turns. And it's still going to be Sully leading, but for how long? Cano goes up the inside.
And this is one of the places you really got to stay off those green patches at the edge of the chicane there. They look like they all did it, but it's the number 71 of Carlos Canio, the 16-year-old Spaniard, yesterday's winner with the slightest advantage, but Sully's right on his tail.
Beñat Fernandez up the inside into second. That pushes Bajosa wide, who pushes Mounty wide, and now he's got it all to do again, the number 4. He's all the way back now in 10th position.
Yeah, 10, losing 9 places in one corner.
Brutal.
There. Not
brutal.
Yeah, brutal. That's Rookies Cup racing. Wow. Okay, Carlos Cano then. Head down. He has got the points leader in his slipstream as there's the number 4 alongside the number 20 of Finn Katowiczal.
That all started because of Beñat Fernandez really scything his way through there, and Mounsey now finds himself with Finn Kratokvilt for company in 13th spot. A great performance from the German yesterday. Got pushed back, crossed the line high up, but got an equivalent long lap penalty for irresponsible riding, pushed down to 17, despite finishing well within sort of the top 5-6.
Right, let's see now whether Bennett Fernandez has any thoughts of racing away with this. You know, I pushed him a bit on it after the race yesterday, and he said maybe if it's a bit cooler, I'll try.
As we see now, Borg up to 5th place from the back of the grid and on the grass there. The Maltese rider going through the inside, and now what? Up into maybe 4th, 5th position still for the Maltese. Yes! Christian Daniel going around the outside. Carlos Cano off the track from 1st. Now he's down to 9th position, Peter.
Yeah, and picking up, of course, going across the green too. But it is the number 11 of David Gonzalez who leads now with 6 laps remaining.
Goodness gracious me, it's all hotting up, isn't it, with 6 laps to go. Christian Daniel in 3rd there. Gonzalez leads them from your series leader, Beñat Fernandez. Then we have Christian Daniel. Borg, is that Borg in 4th? It is. It still is Borg. He's there. He is fighting all the way from the back of the grid. Could he go all the way today?
Superb stuff. Down the back straight. Yeah, and there is 24th, all the progression. And it's very consistent progression for Borg too, isn't it? Just a lap by lap.
Peter, I think we've lost Ogiwara. We have! We've lost Ogiwara! He's down at turn 5. We didn't see what happened, but I saw his name tumbling down the timesheets. That's big news for the championship. He's back up and running. There he is, the Slim Shady, down the back straight then. It'll be no points for him today.
Yeah, no sign of bike damage on that side.
Here's what happened. Oh, just round the outside, spun it round. Oh, dearie me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was that side of the bike that, but it was so undamaged, you couldn't see it as he raced past. Anyway, that's, as you say, that shot his points for the day.
And now we have, from the back of the grid to the lead, it's Travis Borg. He's made it, but he goes wide. He loses the position, but for how long? He's on the inside, through Ruskenhoek. He's going for it. Goodness me, 4 abreast. This is like the last lap of the race, let alone 5 laps to go when they cross the line this time.
Borg it is, from Beñat Fernandez.
Oh, massive moment for Borg.
He must have gone through the green there, surely.
Surely, and he will be getting a track limits warning if it continues like that. It's all getting chaotic at the moment. 5 laps to go, Peter.
And Christian Daniel Jr. looking good in 2nd place. He said, I just needed to be more aggressive. That's what I've been lacking over the last few laps. That's what I found yesterday, and that's what I'm going to do on Sunday.
From our commentary position, I'm looking down, I'm seeing his dad, Christian Daniel Sr., looking a bit calm, but surely very, very nervous indeed, watching his son battle for what would be his first Rookies Cup victory.
Right, there is the points leader, the number 7, Beñat Fernandez. The 23 is Borg, of course. The 70, Christian Daniel Jr. Carlos Cano is there as well.
Whoa. How many riders through turn 6? That is sensational through there. Probably one of the fastest points on the circuit, if not the fastest. Absolutely incredible.
Well, Cano, he's done a bit of leading. He's back there, what, is it 5th, 6th place there, but right with the lead crew. Still headed by Beñat Fernandez, the 18-year-old Spaniard. That's Travis Borg on the 23. There is 69, Fernando Bajosa.
Quite a surprise to see Beñat Fernandez now at the front again. We were so used to seeing it before earlier on in the season, but for a little while he's sort of been playing around with the other riders, it seemed. But he does get swamped there through Ruskenhoek again. Oh my word! Borg back into the lead. Daniel 2nd. Beñat Fernandez trying to go the inside. Oh, David Gonzalez has a big bobble on the brakes, but just about keeps it there. David Acosta in the background cuts through the chicane, keeps it pinned just behind Ramadipa. Goodness me.
Borg is head down. He's got to keep off the green. Maybe that was his only excursion, but you would think that on his way through the pack setting quick laps he would have had touched the green a few more times. We'll see. And up the inside, Beñat takes the lead.
David Gonzalez getting pushed wide, so he went from being what, top 3 or so down, pushed out to 8th position now.
Right, the all-important drive out onto the back straight. So crucial as they go up through the gears. There's Borg 23, 71 is Carlos Cano, yesterday's winner.
Unfortunately for British fans, Sullivan Mounsey hasn't managed to recover from being pushed so brutally wide earlier on. He's languishing down in 13th position. I'm not sure what he can do from there with just 4 laps to go.
I think he got up to 9th or 10th, but he's then regressed a bit. It's, you know, take or overtake or be taken at every corner, of course. 23 is Travis Borg, the 16-year-old Maltese.
Fernando Bahosa still looking very exciting to me, alongside the number 20, the German rider, Finn Kratokvil. Yesterday in the top 5, that would be crossing the line in the top 5 for the last 3 races in a row, more or less. But unfortunately, as I said earlier, finished yesterday's race in 17th after a long lap penalty instated after the race.
It's just going to be 3 laps remaining. Oh my goodness, that's close, isn't it? And Kano up the inside. Kano retakes the lead from Travis Borg, but did he spoil his drive out onto the start and finish? It didn't look so perfect, and I think already Travis Borg has pulled alongside him, probably has the advantage as they go under the brakes, but Beñat Fernandez latest on the brakes.
And Christian Daniel follows him through in a second. 3 laps to go then, Peter, and it really is starting to all go off. We have a leading pack of 15 riders. Everyone would get a point should they all finish like this. But who will take the victory?
Yeah, of course, it's Ogiwara. We had a 16 pack and Ogiwara slid out of it, leaving us with the 15. It is Christian Daniel Jr., the American, who has the lead.
But for how long? Down the back straight, nearly on the grass, goes Beñat Fernandez to cut to the inside. They go 3 abreast through turn 6. Wowee, that is a spectacular shot if you ever see one in motorcycle racing. David Gonzalez has recovered now, and there he is in the 2nd place behind what should have been his key title rival, Beñat Fernandez.
Beñat looks across at him. The number 11 has the slightest advantage. Christian Daniel Jr.
Beñat pulling wide, slowing up, letting other riders through though, starting to play with him again. But then look at the daylight that gives David Gonzalez. I mean, you might think that's being clever, and we'll see how it plays out, but I'm not so sure with this many riders around you.
Well, that's right. You know, you only need to get one bump and you lose 10 places, as we saw with Sullivan Mounsey. Not his fault at all, and that can happen to anybody. But, you know, this is Beñat's plan. He just wants to stay near the front,
and look at him, he's almost goon riding a 90s 500 Grand Prix style from a 2026 Red Bull rookie. Oh, big crash in the background. Big crash. Who's that? Has got down. David Acosta.
David Acosta, I think.
And I think it might be Finn Kratokvil as well, the number 20 it is. That is such a shame. Well, fortunately, all looked okay. Riders okay for David Acosta. From our timing screens, we'll await news for yes, rider okay for Finn Kratokvil as well. But that's it. They are now 14 riders at the finish.
And of course, it's split that group up, hasn't it, Matt?
Yes.
You know, and there, well, David Acosta, he unfortunately slid off yesterday as well, not having a great day. He's, you know, he's on the pace, but you've got to stay on the motorcycle. Bad luck for him. So that's split the group now.
We are now a quintet. It is Gonzalez, Fernandez, Daniel, Borg and Cano. All these riders have podiums and or victories in Rookies Cup so far this season. Who will take the win then? That is a big gap, what, 1 second back to that chasing pack. There's Finn Kratokvil again. Here's what happened.
Change of direction.
Oh, David Acosta unfortunately just cleaned him out going through the middle of the chicane, and that was it basically. There he is, cuts back, bang.
Oh, yeah. Well, they both just going for the same piece of road, weren't they?
And Kerman Tinaz and Sullivan Mounsey got very, very lucky there indeed to stay on. We switch back to the front. This will be the dress rehearsal. We do have chasers coming towards them, hunting them down, but I think it's too little too late. Gonzalez leads them through for this dress rehearsal of the Gert Timmer chicane on that final lap.
Travis Borg on the green again. Surely he's running out of track limits.
Yeah. Oh, Chrissy Dowling goes down! Oh, dearie me! What a crying shame for the American! Oh, what What a pity. They are now 4, Peter. He's okay, but it's Gonzalez leading from Borg, Fernandez and Carlos Cano.
And this is the last lap of the race. Yesterday's winner, Carlos Cano, just dropped back a little. We'll see a replay here of just what happened.
He tried to carry the speed and bang. Unfortunately, him and Cano coming together.
Well, it was so close. It was so similar to the David Da Costa the previous lap, wasn't it? Anyway, right, it's the number 11 who has the advantage. We're halfway around the last lap now. Number 11, David Gonzalez with the advantage over Travis Borg. The number 7, of course, is Beñat Fernandez, and then Carlos Cano. Can the guys behind catch them? I don't think so.
It's short. Well, looking at the gap, it's half a second now for Bahosa and Mike Yu. Singapong there chasing them down. And look at this, the point swing. Well, it goes the other way if it finishes like this. An extended lead for Beñat Fernandez, but still a fair way to go yet. Half a lap to go, Peter.
And Carlos Cano comes up the inside of Beñat Fernandez.
Gonzalez leads the wide line, trying to get the best run out onto this back section. Borg will want to go from the back of the grid to the win here today. Nothing less will be acceptable than that for the Maltese rider. Peter, this is it, the final run.
Yes, and of course, one touch of the green and you lose a place. Doesn't matter what you've done before. This is the last lap. They're 3 abreast, but it's Travis Borg who has the advantage. And surely he's not going to be passed. He keeps it off the green, but does Beñat, maybe Beñat touch it? The 23 is Borg. He's got it, surely. He just had to.
No, he goes wide. Oh, Borg! He's on the green. Oh, goodness me!
Beñat Fernandez crosses the line first.
He's
David
done it.
Gonzalez, Travis Borg. I don't know if he's going to keep that 3rd place. Carlos Cano crosses the line 4th. Singapong 5th.
That was unfortunately. Borg lost that race himself, unfortunately. That is such a shame.
Oh.
That was entirely his mistake. He absolutely had it nearly in the bag and he lost it, Peter, bless him.
And Singapong, the fastest lap of the race, on that last lap, you know, to get within a couple of tenths of the leading group. He almost made it to the podium. And you know, we still don't know quite what's going to be happening with any penalties. Who did touch the green there?
I think Borg also did go across the green there. He might even lose as he had to cut back. I know it was a mistake. But Travis, you had it in the bag, mate, and you lost it. You threw it away. I've not seen someone lose it like that since Sean Emmett of Thruxton in BSB when he waved to the crowd. Oh, dearie me. Oh, such a shame. That is such a crying shame.
Oh, dear, 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 dear.
Well, we have top 3
for
confirmed then. Beñat Fernandez from David Gonzalez back on the podium. And Borg keeps the podium. I mean, thank goodness he gets something. But Travis, you had the win!
Yeah.
I'm so gutted for him.
We nearly had our 6th winner of the Cup out of 8 races, but another day. But what a ride from the back.
Yeah, yeah, absolute cracking ride, but it was so close to being an incredible story. It still was very, very good, but that was a lesson in staying, well, unfortunately he got showed how it pays dividends to keep your calm head. Like Beñat Fernandez, I mean, that's what he's doing on the cool-down lap, isn't he? He's pointing to his head, he's saying, I'm the cleverest here, lads.
Well,
I've got all your numbers.
That's right.
And that's clearly what he thinks, eh?
Yeah, we want to see him, you know, winning by, you know, convincingly. But when you win, it's convincing, isn't it? When you keep doing it. And that's what he does. Look at this.
So this was on the last lap. David Gonzalez into 2nd place.
And Beñat just has retaken 3rd there from Cano. Cano had it the previous corner. And then it and look at Travis. He's so determined, isn't he? He's, you know, I'm going to win this. Absolutely sensational stuff. But Beñat is right there.
And then look at the speed he's just carrying. It's more than that. Look, he's pulling out time there, and he's just clearly so unsettled, and then gets biffed by Gonzalez. Look at this. So manic.
No, I don't think, you know, I think that slip, I think something, did he get touched? Well, the first slide, I think, was his own.
There you go. It's just the change of direction so
Yeah. Well, and then he's trying to gas it, isn't he? He's way offline. He's trying to gas it. And then it clip of handlebars, actually, I think.
Yeah.
Clip of handlebars.
He was so fortunate.
Whoa.
But he just forced it so hard for the GT chicane, and these bikes are just like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's right.
He's a Grand Prix stiff machinery. You can't just go grind it like that. Beñat Fernandez, though, I would like to say he's inevitable, but he's been a bit quiet for his standards lately.
Yeah.
But this time, he was inevitable. He extends his championship lead.
Yeah. My goodness gracious me.
That's a massive lead.
And of course, it is now, is it? Ogiwara, double winner in Mugello, put it all on the line and closed up to 14 points. And now it's stretched out to 22 points. Yeah, that's big. Wow, that's fantastic stuff. I can't wait to hear what these guys got to say there. I can see Dominica's going to talk with Travis now. I'm just going to love this.
Yeah, go on then. Take it away, Dommy, with Travis Borg.
Travis, huge congratulations. Can you believe that you got a podium, because you were always leading the race at the front, and now finally you made it?
Yeah, so I'm really happy with my first podium. I started P24 because I did a mistake in qualifying, and I was gonna win the race, but I did a small mistake. But I learned from this, and I want to thank everyone, Red Bull Rookies Cup and my family, for even giving me this opportunity. Thank you to everyone.
Well done.
Well, that is Borg's first podium then in Rookies Cup. Got a podium in the Junior GP last time out as well for them. And here he is today getting that podium. Great stuff from the 23. From the back of the grid, so close to a victory. But second place here today, David Gonzalez. Welcome back to the podium for the first time since his win in race 2 in France. How does he feel about that one, Dommy?
Huge congratulations, really difficult race, different conditions compared to yesterday, but tell us, how was it out there for you?
Yes, it's a difficult race, the conditions are perfect. Well, the final race is fast because the track in the final is good. I pushed the last lap to broken the group. It's the final fight for rider. I can finish second. I am happy. And more the next race. Thank you to the Red Bull Rookies Cup for this opportunity, my sponsor, my family. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, great stuff from young Gonzalez. Been luckless, hasn't he, in terms of the championship run overall, but that will move him up in the standings to 5th position now with 67 points. A long way off the lead, though, but almost inevitable. Beñat Fernandez is your winner here today. Take it away, Dommy.
Beñat, huge congratulations. You did it again. You are the cup leader and you won the race.
Yeah, it was a difficult race because at the beginning there were a bit of patches on the floor, but overall was okay. And after some laps, the tire kept the same performance. And yeah, I was feeling quite comfortable on the group, and I was trying to be on the front positions as always. No, I don't do nothing special. So yeah, I think just trying to do it every lap. You just can manage how to finish on the race more easy, because it's more easy to keep on the same place than going back in the front and all the time. So yeah, I'm very happy because on the last chicane, kind of braked super hard into the outside, and I said, okay, no, I'm here. And I copied him, and I said, I'm gonna block pass. And then I saw Travis went wide, and he get a slide. He likely get P3. I don't know how, but yeah, I'm happy that I overtake him before the finish line, and I finished first. So yeah, I cannot say nothing more. It was a bit windy, and yeah, I thought the race was going to be a bit slower, but it was more or less the same. So yeah, I'm happy to keep this performance and consistency during all the weekends, and yeah, thank you very much.
Mr.
Super
Control.
performance, well done, thank you.
Yeah, and a future weather forecaster as well, actually, if this whole racing line doesn't work out.
Look,
Brilliant.
Travis, he's just so on it. So obviously, Benyat didn't touch the green there.
No.
You know, and look at the way he got. And he said, I don't know how he got on the podium. You know, because he had a big slide. Yeah, and that spoilt his drive, but not enough to have Carlos come past him just before the finish. As you say, he's got it won. But it's just too much.
I don't think anyone has gone through that first right-hander as fast as Travis Borg has across any category this weekend. No. And that's why, because it doesn't work out. I mean, goodness me. I mean, yeah, Benyat's right. I don't know how Travis finished third after that slide. But yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and Benyat, brilliant, isn't it? You know... We want to see fireworks, but you can't argue with a 22-point lead, can you?
No, you can't. And I tell you what, who put a penny in him before the Parc Fermé interview either? I mean, yeah, 50p in Benyat.
yeah, that's right. So 42-point lead. It's you know, over a race, more than a race advantage.
Yeah, I think he's...
Wow.
Yeah, that was very, very special indeed. Well... Parc Fermé is empty, and that can only mean one thing. We're heading towards the podium, but here are the final results then. Benyat Fernandez takes the win, David Gonzalez, Travis Borg, fill out your podium. Carlos Cano was 4th, ahead of Mike Hume in 5th. Fernando Bahosa, very respectable 6th from the Mallorcan. Kiandrat Ramadipa, Indonesia, stand up, your boy was 7th. Christian Borelli was 8th, ahead of Kerman Tinez in 9th, and Yaroslav Karpushin was 10th. Plonk from pole position finished up 11th, ahead of Pugliese, Sullivan Mounsey. Alfonsi Dakigan, the Filipino, gets a couple of points in 14th, and Jurien van Kruten gets a point in his home race in 15th. Agostinelli, Almeida, Ogiwara, Sparks, Schmidt, DaCosta are the last of the finishers. We have crashes from Varga, Daniel, and Krotokville, who failed to finish. These are the rider standings though. 42 points the gap between Benyat Fernandez and Ogiwara. 58 back from the lead is Bahosa. Singapong now up in the 4th, along with Gonzalez in 5th. Ramadipa and Daniel are 6th and 7th. Very, very close indeed, 1 point apart. Borg moves up a couple of spots into 9th with Carlos Cano in 10th. Mounsey 11th from Karpushin. Plonk, Marolander, who's the wasn't competing this weekend after an injury sustained in last week's Junior GP series. It's early. Anyway, the rest of the riders, all point-scoring finishers of all 26 riders this year, including a couple of points for Jurien van Kruten now. So good stuff from him. Well, riders will be coming out onto the podium then, and it will be the Spanish national anthem once again here today, but this time for Benyat Fernandez.
Yeah, and I just think, you know, I'm just so excited what we're going to see from Travis Borg, you know, for the rest of the season, eh? I mean, that was absolutely fantastic. He bounced back because he just had 2 8th places at Mugello, and he was in that lead bunch, but obviously he hadn't worked out at Mugello how to turn being in the lead bunch into a podium finish. Well, he certainly worked it out this weekend, and there he is he's got the Maltese cross on his helmet, taking 3rd place on the podium. 2nd place on the podium, the ever cheerful David Gonzalez, and super cool Mr. Control, Benyat Fernandez.
50p Benyat is what I'll call him from now on.
And awarding the trophies is the president of FIM North America, Rob Dingman. Himself, he's both a road and off-road riding enthusiast, very much involved in seeing that the US government does right as possible by motorcyclists. So he does a lot of work in politics for motorcyclists in the US. Rob Dingman, great to see him here, obviously enjoying the day. And the fork legs for our points leader, Benyat Fernandez. So that begins the second half of the season. We continue with that second half in 2 weeks at the Sachsenring, June 11th and 12th. But until then, it's goodbye from Matt Dunn and myself, Peter Clifford.
These are the highlights from Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup Assen Race 2, and it was a storming start for the 97 of Ryota Ogiwara from 5th on the grid to 1st by turn 1. He would unfortunately end up crashing out of the race and losing second in a commanding second position in the standings. He rejoined later on and all okay, but we were all eyes on yesterday's winner, Carlos Cano, who led the race for much of the time. This was David Gonzalez coming together with Sullivan Mounsey, who then got biffed wide by a move like this from Beñat Fernandez, bumping into Fernando Bajosa and pushing Mounsey wide. This was the moment that Ogiwara's race came unstuck, as did his tyres to the asphalt, and we were focusing on the final run to the line with a couple of crashes at the GT chicane in those closing stages. That was Quatopfil and David da Costa, and that was Christian Daniel exiting stage right. This was the run to the line with Borg somehow keeping it upright, losing the win, and Beñat Fernandez taking it from him, and a commanding position in the championship as we enter the second part of the season. See you next time.